And why does this generation of kids just turn their back on their parents? Like, I would never treat my parents the way some of the things have been said to me. Just so much entitlement these days.
Amazing viewer, I'm glad you're watching. This is another TikTok video that draws a lot of concern, and as you can see, so many people reacting to it, and this is just a repost, but so many people give their feedback concerning what the statement that the lady has just uttered. And yeah, what do you think? This is something so burning. It's not just a trending thing, but also it's something that we are going through on a daily basis.
But I have 3 adult children and 2 aren't talking to me. And do I give a damn? Of course I care, but I'm not gonna feed into their bullshit.
Is this a conflict of generation, or it's just parents who aren't ready, or children aren't ready to understand their children, their parents? Yeah, let me play this African proverb first.
African proverb. There is no need for a man to destroy all beehives just because of a sting from a bee. The meaning: being hurt by your partner does not mean you have to dislike the whole family. People get hurt, and the best solution is to move on with life.
Question is, how do we move with all this hurt inside? How do we move on? That's what I want to understand first. How do we move on? And we move on from where? Like, do we have to find a common ground to understand the differences, or do we just have to sweep things under the carpet and move on that things aren't happening? So what do you think? What is your thought on this?
And why does this generation of kids just turn their back on their parents? Like, I would...
Cause y'all toxic. Toxic as hell. Lucky we ain't putting y'all in a nursing home. Do you like Britney Spears' parents did her? Shoot. Like, how you get mad because you did something wrong for all these years, and we don't want to talk to you no more when you get mad? How you get mad? How that work? How that work? Somebody tell me how that work. How you mistreat somebody for all these years? We stopped putting up with it.
Something millennials and Gen Z are complaining about the fact that quite often their parents don't remember their abuse when it gets brought up.
What was one of the most hurtful things someone has ever said to you?
I wish I didn't have you, my mom.
Let's agree. Let's try to figure it out. Let's try to accept that some of the parents don't remember the things that I've said to their children. But when you tell your child, I wish I wouldn't have had you, what do you think? What do you think about that? Like, would you say that was a slip of the tongue? Is that something that you can forget about? Is that something that you think will just evaporate from your mind, your child's mind? I don't know. What do you think about this?
And I'm not just talking about abuse. I'm talking about good memories. When my children bring up good memories or they bring up fond traditions, I don't always remember those either. And it's really hard for me. When my children bring up abuses or mistreatments that happened from their childhood by me, it's okay that I don't remember. But it's not okay if I deny, dismiss, or invalidate them just because I don't remember. So mom and dad, if your children are bringing up these abuses, it's okay.
We don't want to be around you, but we the bad guy.
The number one way to push your kid even further away is to be dismissive. You should be listening instead of pointing fingers.
I've been through so much that I have never told you about, like, because I know you're very judgmental, mom. Like, you're judgmental as hell, and I don't like that. It's like, and who else did I trust besides you, mom? I love you, mom. Like, you know I love you, mom. And I appreciate everything you do for me. But, like, damn, bro, I am tired of being so mad all the time, mom. I'm mad every day.
Now, from my perspective as a millennial, from a really high level, this is what it boils down to. Why so much of our generation and those coming after us are distancing ourselves from older generations, including some of our parents. And it has to do with mental health and how we have put a much bigger importance on it, trying to understand it, trying to work on ourselves. And it is often being dismissed by older generations. Here's what a lot of it looks like. There are some pretty unhealthy parenting practices in the 80s and 90s and 2000s and probably before. And
He's just talked about unhealthy parenting styles that parents used to practice in the years back then, and right now they can't work in this space. And since now children are trying to understand themselves. So before, a parent could hide stuff from their children and they would just feel like it's okay. They will not even bother speaking about it. They'll just live in that box of ignorance and they will stay there. But now with education, I think we have to find a common ground. Listen to the story of this girl and you'll find how heartbreaking it is. And you will realize that this is something that should be spoken about even more often, so that parents will get to understand how and how much they need to be involved in their children's mental health.
Okay, so I woke up this morning to a very heated argument with my African Nigerian mother about the trauma that she put me through. About the trauma that she and my dad put me through. How they used to beat the shit out of me as kids. And I'm going to the gym right now because I need to take all this energy off. I already used my Florida water this morning, but I'm just like, I'm so traumatized because they fucked my life up. They treated me like an adult when I was a child. I took care of my siblings. I took them to school. I bathed them. I raised my siblings as of like 10 years old, because as of 9 years old, I was back home. I was taking them to school. I was feeding them. And now I was trying to tell her the things that she did to me and how she ruined my life and how I can't have a regular relationship with anybody. Like, my relationship is fucked up because my trauma keeps popping up in there and I keep projecting it on them, and it just fucked them up. And I was trying to talk to her today because she did the same thing to my sister. And I told my mother, I said, Mom, the way you're going about this thing, you're gonna lose this girl. She's gonna leave the house, and the same shit she did to me when I left home at 17, you're gonna do it to this girl. And she was like, well, if I didn't do that to you when you were a child, are you gonna be the way you are right now? I was like, Mom, are you serious right now? You traumatized me. You fucked up my life. My dad used to beat me. Like, he wouldn't stop beating me until there was blood on my body.
I have to stop it at that point. Because really, it's a sad story, and we're doing this so that you can learn from these things. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to leave your thoughts.
So then she talks about how she was at the party and the subject of disciplining her children through hitting them came up. And so this one man spoke about how he was like beat severely as a child, and now he's misogynistic and hates women. So this one lady talks about how she has a son, and instead of like hitting him, but she'll take him and she'll clamp his flesh and like pinch him really, really, really hard. And the people supported it because she wasn't hitting her child, even though she was causing the child physical fucking pain. So she goes on to talk about how at this party with all these educated people, how she's the only one who disagrees. And she's like, if that had been a woman who was being harmed by her husband, you would be like in uproar. And that is my point. Y'all do not give a fuck, and y'all find some reason and cognitive dissonance kicks in to make you feel it's okay for a parent to harm a child, and then they must just always be forgiven.
Mom, I want to feel more secure. Oh, stop crying. You want to hug me?
How does that feel like? These are angels.
I have a couple of thoughts. So if you watch the video, this mom, she's in her 50s. I'm a little younger than her, was saying like, dang, this generation of kids sure do turn their back on their parents. What is that about? We do the best we can and they turn their back. A few things that came to mind for me. I'm a 44-year-old mom and a 26-year-old daughter. First of all, she doesn't owe me a relationship. I guess that's how I feel. Like, she is her own person. She's an adult now, like, for real. She don't really owe me anything, but I owe her my support. I'm the foundation. I'm the pillar. A colleague told me, your children are like the kite flying at the sky. You're the one holding the string, and if you need to, something's going on, you pull that string in, you bring that child close. That's my job. Her job is to do whatever the hell she want to do. Now, hopefully, if I've done my job right and I am 99 and need her to go to the store, she will do that. right? So I think that's the one thing to start with. The second thing is you just got to be open with your kids. Listen to them, even if what they're telling you, you're like, what in the world? Because that has happened before. Like, I don't know if I wanted to hear that.
You told my producers that your mom said something that really upset you. What was it?
She said she hate me and she wish I was dead.
Wow. When did she say that?
In December.
Baby, open your ears and listen. And be that support system, because I feel like I find that when you are that way and your kids know that they can come to you, period, don't matter what they did, they will do that. They will come to you. But we also have to remember this. 2023 been trash already. 2022 was trash. 2021 and 2020 all trash. Folks are struggling. Our young adult children are struggling. There is a lot going on for them, and sometimes those things are so far, like they're like underwater. And so thinking to call mama or dad is not at the top, and it's really, I feel like, on us. I have a video podcast with my daughter. We've kind of gone on a little bit of a hiatus, and I said, mamas, it's your responsibility to nurture the relationships with your adult children. You know, it really is. It's our responsibility. And that means being open, transparent, listening. But again, knowing that sometimes you can do all of those things and still there can be some tension and strain. And I don't know what to say to that. I think the person that stitched the original video has some good tips and some information on that. But, you know, let me know what y'all think, because I don't know, it's a different generation now.
When you're in no contact with your family, I swear to God, people love to ask you the stupidest questions. Oh my God, how are you gonna feel if they die? The same. They're not in my everyday life. They don't pay bills, they don't feed me. What would I miss? Somebody would literally have to call me and tell me that they left the planet.
Oh no. Wow. So what is this? Please watch this video to the end, because there are also experiences of people who are trying to cope with the situation of their children living. So
it's gonna change. I buried and mourned them when I went no contact.
The story of this girl is also so interesting, and people are trying to come back to her like, why can't you, why did you go missing, why this silence for 7 years, can't you forgive your mom and move on? And she was saying she has not yet found that space to forgive her mom because of so many things that she had done to her in the past. So right now she's trying to explain what happened, and though she has not spoken it in depth, but let me just play a little bit of what her experience is. Don't forget, there are people who will help us.
For me, the video was about people saying that I should forgive my mom just on the basis that she's my mom. Like, she's your mom, so no matter what she does, you should forgive her. And I don't agree with that. I don't believe that to be true. I think that if someone does something, they should be held accountable. And my mom, over the years, has done many things to me. I could list them all off. Or would you like the after effects? I mean, would you like what I have now? But I do have compassion for what she went through, which has led her to be where she is at. I have compassion for her rough childhood. I have compassion for her not knowing how to, quote unquote, in her words, do better. What I don't have compassion for is that she never even tried to do anything. And that's kind of my mom's whole gag, is making people think that she's doing stuff, but in reality she's just spinning her wheels. Or she throws out information to certain people but not these people, and manipulates them either against each other or they don't even know. So like, this person's giving her money, this person's giving her money, she's told neither of them that she's gotten money, and yet she's still posting for more people, you know, how rough it is that, you know, she can't afford this or can't afford that.
I would want us to reflect on this. She's just mentioned something that I want us to like think about. What do you think? Could it be that some parents who are raised in rough childhoods that really parent with parents who are really so toxic, that they also come in with the same thing, and they implement the same thing on their children. And here this girl doesn't find it good for her to be pushed to forgive without her understanding, or without her mom maybe realizing that she has hurt her. And what do you think? Could this be the reason why children are going through all
This is
this?
the worst thing that parents don't do when adult kids go no contact. And this truth is gonna sting a little bit. Let's go. Let me just put it like this. My crackhead stepdad came to me when I was an adult and asked to stay with me because he was losing his place. This is the same man who tried to unalive us on the freeway, sold our Christmas presents for drugs, and caused us to be homeless 2 times. So I didn't go full no contact with him. I just told him he couldn't stay with me, and I rarely allowed myself to be around him. He did something many parents don't do when their kids go no contact. He didn't show me that he cared about something other than his own ass. Sometimes in third person, he would say, yeah, daddy was an asshole when y'all was younger. But then other times he would say, oh, come on now, daddy wasn't that bad to y'all kids. It just depended on the day. But he never worked on himself, like starting a business, for example, to make my life any better. He was always thinking about numero uno, daddy. So many adult kids had a parent who took a massive dump all over their childhood. So what the hell would make them want to relive that shit now? Pun intended. Your adult kids need to see that you are working on yourself to make their lives better, instead of only focusing on your own pain. Period.
Let's not forget that when children go no contact, parents also get hurt. And this is how this mother is coping with it. Yeah, mostly when parents also, children just decide to go no contact. Yeah, for one or the other reason. Yeah, without maybe considering what the parents are going through.
Yes, I have this great relationship with 2 of my sons. My youngest daughter, my sunshine, is always around. That's who I'm usually talking about in these videos. But I have an oldest son who has chosen to go no contact with me and most of the family. Here's where I differ from a lot of people. I honor his space. I don't try to make up some type of story about how I did the best I could, even though I did. How, you know, he should have been grateful for the life that I worked hard to give him. But see, I'm a recovering alcoholic. And I wasn't recovering when he was in his early teens. I'm not going to feed my ego by saying, you know, I'm your mother, I did the best I could, I was dealing with a lot. Whether or not that's true, I honor his truth. I really do. I love my son. I miss him. However, I won't be changing my number anytime soon, and the code to the front door that he has will never change. He can always get into any home that I live in. But I'm not going to sit here in front of my other kids or in front of you guys and say, oh, he's gone no contact. I don't understand. I understand completely. And I'm quite happy that I raised a grown-ass man who can stand up for his feelings. I send him messages that I hope he's getting some therapy because I was his mother and I know he probably needs it. But other than that, I honor his space. I think sometimes that's the difference between Gen X parents and our boomer generation. Because, yeah, I'm your mom. I messed you up. I'm sorry. We parent each of our children differently. That's just the truth of it. So one day maybe he'll come back around and we won't be estranged. In the meantime, I just love on the kids that are here and pray to the universe that things will change. Y'all have a good day.
I'm glad you watched to this extent. Smash that subscribe button and let's grow this platform. I appreciate your precious time. Until we meet again, thank you so much for spending time with us.